team, I hope you're all well. Today we're going to do something I haven't done before, but I see quite a few people do every single year, and I've always wanted to do it and just never really known how to. So we're going to give it a bash and see what happens. But today we are going to react to the Goodreads Choice Awards first round. So it is the 14th, so the first round has been announced and I haven't looked at it at all, and I'm looking forward to it. I know that the Goodreads Choice Awards are not fantastic, the way that they do everything, I get that, but it's a bit fun and I enjoy it, so we're gonna do this regardless. Because I'm intrigued. I'm mostly intrigued about the romance genre, fantasy and thriller, horror. I can't remember if they come under the same, I think it's thriller, mystery and then horror. So I'm mostly intrigued about those in general. I think we'll have a quick look through them all anyway, but I'm mostly intrigued about those four. And if I want to vote on anything, I will do it. I'm intrigued to see how much of these I've actually read. I don't think it's going to be as much as I think it is. But I am intrigued, and I do have a couple of predictions, so we're going to run very quickly through some of these predictions. So for fantasy, I 100% predict that Fourth Wing and potentially Iron Flame are going to be on this list. Fourth Wing 100%, potentially Iron Flame. The way people have been smashing their way through this book since it was released last week, fascinating. Definitely Fourth Wing though, because this is my favourite book of the year. So I reckon those two. I also have My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine on here as a prediction, because this has been doing the rounds massively. I know Fairyloot have done a special edition of it. It's very good. I have read it. So I reckon this one. Lost in the Moment and Found by Shauna Maguire. I think Shauna Maguire's Wayward Children series makes it on this list every year, so I am 100% predicting this one will do as well. It's my favourite out of the series so far. So I really love this one. It was very good. Very traumatic but good. Naturally Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang. Why wouldn't it make it? I don't know what category it'll be in, but 100% I think it's going to make it. I haven't read it yet. Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldry. Come on, it's got to, surely. This is, again, has only recently been released, but I know there was a lot of arcs doing the rounds. I got an arc, so maybe. It was a 5-star read, so it should. I reckon maybe Silver Nitrate by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I think she's made it on these lists a couple of times before, so why not? This has been out a little while. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but potential. Then I do have some more thrillers slash horrors. I've got None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. It's Lisa Jewell. This was really good. I had a good time with it. Why not? Obviously, The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I'm fairly certain Riley Sager makes it on this list every single year, so it just makes sense. The Last Word by Taylor Adams. It's been doing the rounds. It's very popular. Why the heck not? And then I actually predict that this could make it on somewhere. I don't know if there's an anthology category or whether it would just make it into the horror section. But Out There Screaming by Jordan Peele. I have seen a lot of my friends reading this, and then I picked it up while I was in Waterstones the other day. So I'm really intrigued about it. I haven't read it yet, but I do think that it could make it on the list. I think I would be surprised if it wasn't on there, to be fair. And then for some romance, naturally Ali Hazelwood. Love Theoretically, I think is her release this year. 2023, yeah, just checking. I haven't read it yet, but Ali Hazelwood just makes sense. Also, Hopeless by Elsie Silver. This was the 2023 release, I'm fairly certain, unless Reckless was also a 2023 release as well. I can't remember, but Hopeless by Elsie Silver. Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. The others in this series made it onto the list last year, and it makes sense. Christina Lauren. Makes sense, right? Surely. This was a 2023 release, right? Just talking out of my backside. Yes. This is the Illumicrate Afterlight version. But yeah, Christina Lauren, True Love Experiment. And then naturally again, Emily Henry with Happy Place. I'm fairly certain every time she's released a romance book, it's ended up on the Goodreads Choice Awards. Again, I haven't read it yet. I need to. It's one of my most anticipated reads of the year and I've still not got to it yet. So those are some predictions. I'm intrigued to see whether or not they'll make it. Let us get Goodreads open. and set my doofer to screen record. All right, we're rocking and rolling. I've got it going. I'm excited. I haven't done this before, so I hope it works. Right, so we have the screen open. So we need to click on cast my vote. I'm anxious. Why am I anxious? Doesn't matter. So this opening round is open from November 14th to the 26th. And let's click on cast your vote. I'm anxious. We're gonna flick through them all and just have a quick look, see what's on there, because I am very intrigued to see what's on. So fiction, Shark Heart, a love story, I haven't heard of it. Blackouts, haven't heard of it. Hello Beautiful, I've seen that one around. The Connollys of Countdown, haven't heard of it. The Bee Sting, Family Meal, I've heard of Brian Washington, but I haven't heard of that book. The Wishing Game, Celebrants. I don't read a lot of like fiction, so I see a book though. Tom Lake, The Invisible Hour, I have seen around by Alice Hoffman. The Collected Regrets of Clover, Evil Eye. Yellowface, as predicted, is on here. It's made it to the fiction one, so yeah, I predicted that was going to be on here somewhere. Mame, Jojo Moyes, not surprising. Wellness, Pineapple Tree, The 5-Star Weekend. I have seen the Eleanor Catton one as well, and Big Swiss. I've seen that about, but I haven't read them. So, historical fic, God is a River, The Wind Knows My Name, Let Us Descend, The House of Eve. I don't think I know any of these. Again, I don't read a lot of historical fiction unless it's fantastical based. Oh, Wayward I've seen. I know that one. I haven't read it though. Yeah, Wayward's the only one that I recognise. So mystery thriller, I'm excited. The Villa by Rachel Hawkins. Should have guessed that that was going to be on here, really. Rachel Hawkins makes it on every year. I haven't read it. The Housemaid's Secret by Freda McFadden. I have not read that one yet, but I've read the first one. Very excited about it. I do own the second one. All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. I need to have read by the end of this year. I really want to get to it. I'm very excited about it. I have read A Flicker in the Dark recently by Stacey Willingham, so yeah. Homecoming by Kate Morton. The Maid's Diary by Lorethan White. I was supposed to read In the Drowned Girls by Lorethan White for Literature Book Club as the final book before I shut the book club side of it down, but I haven't got to it yet. The Only Ones Left by Riley Sager, obviously. All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. I haven't read that one. The River We Remember by William Kent Kruger. Nice. None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. I'm sure I have that somewhere. Oh yeah, it's there. I forgot I had it. It was in the bottom of a bag and I found it yesterday. I have some questions for you. Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney. I don't know why I didn't put that on my predictions, because I should have. Haven't read it yet. The Leftover Woman. Haven't heard of that. Obviously Richard Osmond as well. I should have put that one on here. What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. Happiness Falls. I have heard of this one, but I don't know anything about it. Bright Young Women. After That Night, Karen Slaughter, naturally. The Co-Worker by Freda McFadden. Is that the second one from Freda McFadden? Yeah. Oh, interesting. Don't Let Her Stay by Nicola Sanders. I know Freda McFadden is like very popular on TikTok, so yeah. Interesting. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Out of 20, I have read two. It's going really well. I do own more than 2 though, so you know, it is what it is. Romance, let's go. Oh, I'm anxious. The Long Game by Eleanor Armas. Interesting. I haven't read that one. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I should have put that on here. I have it. Haven't got to it yet. King of Pride by Anna Huang. Haven't got to it yet. Romantic Comedy by Curtis Sittenfield. I don't have that. The True Love Experiment, as predicted, by Christina Lauren. Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. Pucking Around by Emily Rath or Emily Bath, I'm not sure. Long Time Coming by Megan Quinn. Should have known that would be on here. I haven't read the first one. The Right Move by Liz Tomford. Yeah, I figured, in fact, did I think it was going to be that one, or did I think it was going to be, did that one come out this year? Oh yeah, Windy City 2, yeah, it's the first one I was thinking of. In the Likely Event by Rebecca Yarros. I have that, I haven't read it yet. I picked it up after reading Fourth Wing. Love Theoretically, as predicted, and Happy Place, as predicted. Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I think I have, yes, I have that one. Oh, Things We Hide from the Light. Did that one come out this year as well? Oh yeah, so the first one came out last year and was on last year's Choice Awards. Similarly Powerless by Elsie Silver. I did put Hopeless on here, but oh, Powerless is the third one. I said maybe Reckless. It's because multiple have been released this year, I assume. Final Offer by Lauren Asher. Again, should have been straight up because it's been on every single year for the last 2 years. So yeah, that one probably should have been a prediction from me as well. Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. You Again by Kate Goldbeck. I know that's very, very popular. I currently have a copy on its way to me. 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I'm very excited about reading that one. I don't think I have it yet though. Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I could have sworn I picked that book up, but I've got no idea where it's gone. I wanted to put it on my prediction, but I couldn't find it. I haven't read Icebreaker yet. So interesting. So out of the 20 on here, I have read exactly 0 of them. This is going really, really well. Absolutely fantastic. Romantasy. I like that they've got a romantasy category. That's cool. The Jasad Air. I haven't read that one. A Dawn of Onyx. You know, I'm sure I saw something for that last night on NetGalley while I was scrolling through. Haven't heard of it until now though. Bewitched by Laura Thalassa doesn't surprise me in the slightest. The Hurricane Wars. I do have a copy of that. Haven't read it yet. A Court This Cruel and Lovely. Haven't heard of that at all. The Hanging City. Haven't heard of it. The Coven by Harper L. Woods. I've heard of that one. Haven't read it. A Soul of Ash and Blood by JLA. Of course, she's on here. Rule of Aurora King. Have not heard of it. Ashes in the Circus King. Naturally. Fourth Wing. Naturally. They're in the same category though. How do you do people that dirty? The Foxglove King. Heard of it. Throne of the Fallen by Kerry Maniscalco. I looked at that and I was like, maybe. Maybe. Didn't pick it up though. Maybe as in maybe a prediction on here. I own a copy. A Game of Gods by Scarlett St. Clair. Haven't heard of it, but have heard of Scarlett St. Clair. Fire in the Flesh by JLA again. Assistant to the Villain. I do have that. Haven't read it yet. A Queen of Thieves and Chaos by K.A. Tucker. I have the first 2 in that series on my shelves. Haven't read them yet. Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent. She's got 2. JLA's got 3. What is going on here? I didn't know we repeated authors. Did we do that? Does it matter? Fall of Ruin and Wrath. Zodiac Academy, Sora and Starlight, book 8. Yeah, I think it's book 8 or 8.5. Interesting. So on here, out of this 20, I have read 1. Which is Fourth Wing. I am partway through Ashes in the Circus King. And I do own Hurricane Wars, Ashes, obviously, Foxglove King, Fourth Wing, Throne of the Fallen, Assistant to the Villain, Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. Not quite Zodiac Academy 8, but I will. Okay. Fantasy. Last Tale of the Flower Bride. Ended up DNFing this one because of the writing style, and it breaks my heart to this day because I know exactly how the story goes. Jade told me. That would have been a 5-star read from me, I'm telling you right now. I just couldn't read the writing. Swordcatcher by Cassie Clare. Stone Blind by Natalie Haynes. I feel like I've seen this cover, but I feel like I haven't. Venko. Have not heard of that. The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrian Young. I have heard of this. Victory City. Haven't heard of that. Trust the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I wanted to put a Brandon Sanderson on here, and I actually meant to mention it in my predictions, but I completely forgot. I just didn't know which one to put, because obviously he's come out with the secret projects this year. 3 out of the 4 of the secret projects have come out back to back, so I didn't know which one to put on, but Tress is on here. I wonder if we'll see any more. The Will of the Many. I have heard of this. Hellbent by Lee Bardugo. I'm not surprised about that. Clytemnestra. I don't know how you pronounce that. I haven't heard of that. Inkblood Sister Scribe I've heard of. Day of Fallen Night, naturally. Atlanta. Haven't heard of that. Fragile Threads of Power, naturally. Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi makes me very happy to see on this list because I love that book. Bookshops and Bone Dust, as predicted. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, another one I DNF'd. Witch King, I have heard of. The Book That Wouldn't Burn, I've heard of. Starling House, I have heard of, haven't read. So out of this list, out of the 20, I've DNF'd 2. I haven't read Tress, actually. I have read Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi at Bookshops and Bone Dust. So I've read 2, I've DNF'd 2. Is that my best? This is going really great. Okay, sci-fi. Children of Memory by Adrian Tchaikovsky, naturally. System Collapse, Martha Wells. Is that? I didn't even know that was out yet. Okay. The Deluge. Some Desperate Glory. Haven't heard of that. The Future. Haven't heard of that. Lightbringer by Pierce Brown. Not surprising. Translation State even. Haven't heard of that. Starter Villain. What is that cover? What is that? Fascinating. Haven't heard of that. Haven't even seen that cover. The Ginbot of Shantyport. Haven't heard of that. The Ferryman, Chain Gang All Stars. Bridge. I don't recognise a lot of these. The Marriage Act by John Mars. I've heard of John Mars. Haven't heard of that book. The Deep Sky. Ascension. In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. Makes sense. I Keep My Exoskeletons to Myself. Land of Milk and Honey. The Great Transition, The Light Pirate. How bizarre. I mean, I don't read a lot of sci-fi anyway, but I recognise 1, 2, 3, 4 of those books out of 20. 4 of them. How bizarre. Horror, I'm excited. Silver Nitrate, as predicted. Oh, Black Sheep as well. I should have predicted that one too. I haven't read it yet, but I do own it. Do I own it? I've got a couple by Rachel Harrison. I think I might own it, maybe. Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañez. I should have predicted that one. I just read The Hacienda and really enjoyed it. Our Share of Night. Again, should have predicted. I do recognise that one. Mr. Magic by Kirsten White. Becoming the Boogeyman. I'm intrigued by that book. I'm not going to lie. I am intrigued. The September House has been doing the rounds a lot recently, so I'm not surprised by that. Natural Beauty, I have heard of as well. My Darling Girl, I just recently got a copy of that. Did I? Yes, I just recently got a copy of that. I'm excited to read it. Rouge by Mona Award, not surprised. Her Little Flowers, that's the only one I haven't seen so far that I don't recognise. Don't Fear the Reaper, I know of. Sister of the Lost Nation. The Reformatory, Lone Women. Monstrillo, I don't recognise that one either. That is creepy. Holly, naturally Stephen King. Naturally T. Kingfisher, House with Good Bones. How to Sell a Haunted House. Did I put that one on here? Oh, that was one of my predictions as well. I just forgot to pull it off the shelves. That was also a prediction from me because I've read that one too. Dead 11. So out of the 20, how many have I read? I think it's going to be a low number again, like 1. How to Sell a Haunted House. But I know of pretty much all of those. Her Little Flowers and Monstrilla are the only 2 that I haven't heard of before. So out of 20 of them I recognise 18. So yeah, young adult and fantasy and sci-fi. Foxglove by Adeline Grace, I have that, I need to get to it. Delicious Monsters, yeah, I definitely recognise that cover. Stolen Air by Holly Black, should have known really. Scarlet Veil by Shelby Mahurin, predictable. Silver in the Bone, I haven't read yet. A Curse for True Love, should have predicted that one, but I don't read these books, so not necessarily guaranteed that I would remember. Bring Me Your Midnight by Rachel Griffin, I haven't read that yet, but I do want to get to it. I read the second one that she came out with this year and didn't enjoy it as much as the first one, Wild as the Witch. So I do want to pick up Bring Me Your Midnight soon though. House of Marion, haven't heard of that. Blood Debts, haven't heard of that. Cassie Clare, Chain of Thorns. House of Root and Ruin by Erin A. Craig, understandable. Spice Road, I have that one. Song of Silver Flame Light Night, I have that one. Divine Rivals, I'm currently partway through. Threads That Bind, I've heard of. Foul Heart Huntsman, I've heard of. Powerless, makes sense. What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. These Infinite Threads, A Study in Drowning. You know what is really interesting about this is that Foxglove, Silver in the Bone, Spice Road, Song of Silver Flame Light Night, Divine Rivals, Threads That Bind, and A Study in Drowning all came in a Fairy Loot box. That's like 7 of those books came in Fairy Loot boxes. Or Illumicrate box, came in a subscription box. And I own because of that reason. Interesting. Okay, YA. 5 Survive by Holly Jackson, I have read. Yay! The Brothers Hawthorne, I own, I have not read yet. Pride and Prejudice and Pittsburgh, haven't heard of that. What Happens After Midnight, haven't heard of that. 9 Liars, I have heard of, haven't read it yet. I didn't know that was a 2023 release though. Interesting. I thought that came out last year. Oh, published 2022. Thought they needed to be 2023 releases. Maybe I don't know the rules of this award. Or maybe Goodreads don't know the rules. Never Ever Getting Back Together by Sophie Gonzalez. The Davenports, Suddenly a Murder. One of Us Is Back by Karen M. McManus. Thieves Gambit. Rain, American Royals. Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. Again. Oh no, it's a this year release. Unfair. Forget Me Not. Imogen, obviously. We Deserve Monuments. Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I didn't know that was YA. Oh. Interesting. Warrior Girl Unearthed. Immortality, A Love Story. I do own both Anatomy and Immortality. I do need to read them. This Time Is Real, I haven't heard of that one. Together We Rot is on my wish list. I am really intrigued by this one. The cover is beautiful. Fair. So out of those I have read 5 Survive. So only one I've read so far, which makes sense. I don't read a lot of YA anymore, to be honest, and if I do, it tends to be like thrillers. Debut novel Monstrillo, again. I keep my exoskeletons to myself, again. One Summer in Savannah. Wayward, again. Shark Heart, A Love Story, again. River, Sing Me Home. Imp Blood Sister Scribe, again. Ink Blood Sister Scribe, again, and Mame, again. The Collected Regrets of Clover, Beyond That Sea. Pineapple Street, I have heard of. The Wishing Game. In Memoriam. The September House, I have heard of. I'm so intrigued by that book. I really want a copy. Did You Hear About Kitty Carr? Adelaide. Looking for Jane. Banyan Moon. Chain Gang All Stars, The Bandit Queens. Out of those, the only... I've heard of Wayward and In Blood Sister Scribe. Pineapple Street and September House. I reckon quite a lot of those are like literary fiction though, maybe. Non-fic, ultra processed people. Haven't heard of that. Trail of the Lost, I have seen this one around. Hidden Potential. 8 Rules of Love by Jay Shetty, I have seen around, and I'm not surprised about that being on here at all. On Our Best Behaviour. Haven't seen that one. Doppelganger. Poverty by America. But's A Backstory. Interesting. Never Finished. Cobalt Red. The Creative Act, A Way of Being. A Way of Being. I thought that sentence didn't make sense when I said it out loud. Outlive, The Science and Art of Longevity. Art Thief. Monster. Eve. How Far the Light Reaches. Build the Life You Want. Punished for Dreaming, Opinions, and Good Life. The only one I have heard of is, the only 2 I've heard of is Trail of the Lost and 8 Rules of Love for non-fiction. Don't read a lot of non-fiction actually. I have wanted to get to more this year, and I think I have read more this year, just apparently none of them were new. Memoir and autobiography. The Witching Year, haven't heard of that one. Counting the Cost, I have seen that one around very recently actually, in the last week or 2. Britney Spears, The Woman in Me, naturally. Hijab Butch Blues. Page Boy by Elliot Page. I'm fairly certain that came out last year. Oh, this year. Oh, interesting. I thought that was last year. A Living Remedy. All My Knotted Up Life. Pamela Anderson. How to Say Babylon. Spare by Prince Harry. The In-Between, A Man of Two Faces. Thicker Than Water. Becoming Free Indeed. Paris, While You Were Out. They Call Us Exceptional, The Many Lives of Mama Love. Mink Kelly, Tell Me Everything, and You Could Make This Place Beautiful. I reckon Britney, Elliot Page, or Prince Harry could get that one, to be fair. History and biography. I don't really read much history, as I've mentioned. I do recognise The Wager though. I recognise that cover. I'm not sure why, but I do. Elon Musk. Fair Humour. I just very quickly went through that one. Don't have much interest in that one. Similar with this one, to be honest. I haven't read any of these. I'm interested by these Samantha Irby ones though, because I have heard they're very good. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read one. And that is the end. So fascinating. Interesting. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a hard year this year, because I don't recognise a lot of these. Like, I predict Yellowface could definitely win for fiction, for sure. But again, it's the only one that I recognise really on there, that is on my radar specifically. Mystery thriller. This one could be hard, because I know there's a lot of love for Frida McFadden out there. There is a lot of love outside of TikTok for Lisa Jewell. And Kay Alice Marshall. Why is that so hard to say? Kay Alice Marshall. Riley Sager, Alice Feeney, you know, S.A. Cosby. Rachel Hawkins. I recognise a lot of these authors, so that one could be really hard. Richard Osmond, come on. So that one could be really hard. Romance, again, really difficult. There is quite the spread on here. I will say I have heard of all of these, which is good news. I have heard of them all, and I'm not specifically, maybe the Elena Armis one I'm surprised about, but also at the same time not, because I know that her first book, what was it called? I think it was her first book anyway, was very, very popular. But yeah, I'm not surprised at that one. Maybe romantic comedy, maybe I just don't know it that well. It's got a lot of ratings, but a 3.7 average. compared to the likes of, like, how many ratings has it got compared? 123,000 compared to Final Offer that's got 156,000 with a 4.27 average, you know? It's kind of surprising to see it on there, maybe. Got a lot of ratings though, to be fair. Yeah, again, like Love Theoretically, 217,000, 4.18 average. $16,000 for You Again with a 3.272 average. I don't know what their parameters are. That's got a pretty good 123,000 with a 4.47 average. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. 147 with a 4.35 average. 4.11. I don't know what the parameters are for. I don't even know if Goodreads know what the parameters are, to be honest. But yeah, interesting. I don't know what I would vote for on here because honestly, I can't vote for anything because I haven't read any of these. I haven't read a single one. Great news. This one, again, I'm surprised at how many I don't recognise at all. Even authors. Stacia Stark. 9,000 ratings with a 4.26 average. 13,000 ratings. 13,000 ratings. I'm just surprised at some of these. I don't know. 6,000 ratings. What is going on? Who has made these 4,000 ratings? Who has made these decisions? $34,000. A bit more. Makes some more sense. But this has got quite a lot. 40,000. Bet this has quite a few. 35. 100,000. That makes sense with a 4.2 average rating. Makes sense. This one will make sense. Oh my god, 707,000 ratings with a 4.65 average rating. That's incredible. That is incredible. I'm not sure if I've ever seen a rating like that before. Fascinating. 2,000 ratings with a 4.3 average. I am so surprised at some of these books. I also had no idea that this was fantasy romance. I think the clear winner on that one is Fourth Wing. Don't know if I'm wrong there, but yeah, I feel like that's the clear winner. See, I'm really surprised at Swordcatcher only having 4,000 ratings on it. Amina, 26 with 4.3 average. I'm really surprised at Fragile Threads of Power only having 7,000 ratings on it as well. I mean, it's not long since come out, so maybe that makes sense, but I would have thought Day of Fallen Night would have had more ratings on it as well. Bookshops and Bone Dust. Only 3,000 ratings. One of those is mine. System Collapse, 982 ratings. How has it made it on here? I am confused. If anyone knows how these work, I am interested to know what the parameters are and stuff, or if there's any parameters, they just pick random stuff. Go away, notifications, leave me alone. The horror one, I'm interested in seeing the ratings on this. I know My Darling Girl hasn't long since come out, I'm sure. 3,000. 25. See, Stephen King's only got 39,000. 707,000 ratings is phenomenal. I'm shooketh. Absolutely shooketh. Very intrigued by September House. I really want to read that one. Right, so those are the reactions to the Goodreads Choice Award. I'm not surprised by some of them. I had my predictions. Obviously, Happy Place made it on here. I was correct about True Love Experiment. I was correct with the author, not the book. Similarly with the author, not the book, it was Powerless, not Hopeless. I was correct with this one. I am surprised to see Out There Screaming is not on here because I know it's been very popular this year. Oh, you know what? I'm also surprised at The Last Word. How is that not on here? Interesting. Okay. The only ones left. This was definitely on here, wasn't it? Yeah, it was on here for a thriller. This one I was correct with, and this one I was correct with. This one made it on. This one made it on. You know what didn't make it on? That I'm really, really surprised about. Lost in the Moment I Found. This did not make it. But this did. So out of the 16 I predicted, including Iron Flame, I did have 9 correct. Which isn't too bad, you know? And I actually am shooketh about some of them that I did predict that weren't on there. I do think the most shocking for me are these two. How have these two not made it on here? I don't get it. Anyone else make any predictions that they thought were truly going to happen and they just didn't, and you're a bit confused as to what's going on? But yeah, that's been my reaction to the 2023 Goodreads Choice Awards round 1. So chat to me in the comments down below. Is there anything you're really surprised about on here? How many of these have you read? I have not read a great deal and I should be doing better. Considering I've read 179 books this year as well, that's actually really, really shocking. So, albeit I do read across like all different kinds of years, I'm not just reading new releases, albeit apparently according to these it doesn't fucking matter if it's a new release or not, so what do I know? But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. It's just something a little bit different, a little bit fun. I'm intrigued to know what people think of my reactions to the awards. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video and I shall chat to you very, very soon. Bye for now.